Coming up on Bear News, an important date is approaching fast. Stay tuned to find out what it is. How did you celebrate the Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year that is? We'll take a look at how UNC welcomed the Year of the Monkey.
Coming up in sports, wrestling match a huge victory versus Utah Valley.
Warm weather behind us. Could we see any rain next week, though? Stay tuned to find out.
We've got all that and more on this episode of Bear News. Don't go anywhere. Dates are sometimes hard to keep track of, but Bear News reporter Efrain Madera shares some important information with us.
You wouldn't want to miss out on free money, would you? March 1st is UNC's deadline to complete your FAFSA.
Through emails, posters, and buttons, the Office of Financial Aid continues to reach out to students in regards to their FAFSA application. Although students are able to complete the application after their priority deadline, March 1st, Marty and Fabian share with us why that isn't the best idea.
It doesn't mean that a student can't apply for FAFSA after March 1st, but just if they apply by March 1st, it guarantees that they get maximum consideration for all types of federal, state, and institutional aid that UNC has to offer students.
There is one mistake that students continue to make when it comes to filling out their application.
One thing that we do see with students oftentimes is they don't think they can file it based on estimated data, so they will often wait until their taxes are done in April.
Financial aid representatives will be at the University Center on Mondays and Wednesdays from 11 to 1 to assist students with filling out their application. In addition, this Sunday, representatives from UNC, Ames, and CSU will be at Island Grove Park for College Goal Sunday to help out with FAFSA. Advisors also recommend to fill out your Universal Scholarship by March 1st and have some clarification of what the Universal Scholarship is.
It's a single application that students can submit here at UNC that puts them in consideration for any institutional funds that we offer.
To access the application, just log into your URSA, click on the Financial tab, scroll down, and click on the Universal Scholarship to start the process.
Financial aid advisors do recommend that if you're not able to attend any of the booth sessions at the UC, to come here to Carter Hall so they can get any questions or concerns answered for you. Reporting from the University of Northern Colorado, I'm Efrain Madera, Bear News.
So remember, once again, the priority deadline to complete your application is on March 1st. Our campus sees some new faces next Monday. February 22nd is the last day admitted students have the chance to participate in the Destination UNC. During this all-day event, future Bears go to information fairs, sample class lectures, and experience their first lunch in the dining halls. Parents and their kids learn about financial aid and explore even more of the campus and residence halls. This is also the day when these incoming freshmen can explore more about their desired academic program. They can meet students and professors from the same major and start building relationships within UNC. For current Bears, expect a busy campus next Monday. Spring conditions last week, summer this week. So what's in store for us in the upcoming week, Abigail?
Taking a look outside, we see sunny conditions with some mid-level clouds. This is a picture from right outside Candelaria Hall. Currently, 67 degrees with gusty conditions. We've seen winds exceed 30 miles per hour today, and we're going to see that trend into the night, which is going to increase surface level mixing of air and lead us to our temperature at around 34 degrees.
From Northern Colorado Medical Center in Greeley will receive blood donation this week thanks to the kindness of donors here at UNC. The College of Natural Health and Sciences hosted their annual Be a Sweetheart, Donate Blood drive on this Thursday. Students, faculty, and staff alike signed up online beforehand to schedule their 20-minute donation session at the UC parking lot. Students Cage was one of the many who volunteered their time and blood that day.
Go through and make sure you haven't had a tattoo, piercings in the last 12 months. If you're on any certain medications, they check your iron and your blood pressure. And then after that, you pretty much sit down and they just kind of start the whole process. It doesn't take very long.
And for Katie, her experience on Thursday was simply about giving back.
Today's my birthday, and my mom, when she gave birth to me, almost died from a hemorrhage. And the only thing that saved her life was the many pints of blood that was donated that she was able to use to stay alive. And so I figured on my birthday I should give back and give my own blood to help somebody else.
Be on the look next semester as NHS returns with another blood drive for those of you who would like to give back to the community. When students graduate from high school, some students have to get a loan to go on to college. BearNews reporter Mohammed Al-Numr asked students how much they know about student loans.
Are students aware about the student loans? We're going to find out here from the UC.
I know a little bit about student loans. I have student loans and we study them in class.
I honestly don't know much. I just know that they pay for my school.
So I know that I have a parent Stafford loan, and then I also, for me as a student, I have the unsubsidized Stafford loan. So like those are the ones that are not need-based, and so I know I currently own roughly $20,000 to $30,000 in loans.
Student debt crisis has been increasing in the U.S. with more than $1.2 trillion in outstanding student loan debt. What do students think about student loan?
I think if students understand what they're getting into and have a plan on how to pay them back, they're really helpful for students who could otherwise not afford college.
You know, I don't think that they're a very effective way of providing education for a lot of students. I know for me and a lot of other students that I know, we're in this happy medium area where our parents make too much money to qualify for any of the government programs, but not enough money to pay for college.
Reporting from the UC for BearNews, I'm Mohammed Al-Nimr.
For more information about the student loans, go online to fasfa.ed.gov.
Coming up next after the break, having trouble staying focused while studying for those dreaded midterms, we will show you a unique way to help you stay on track.
And we'll be right back.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
The Year of the Monkey is officially here, according to the Chinese lunar calendar. BearNews reporter Davis Gerbor tells us how UNC helped to celebrate.
With UNC's expansive Asian studies programs and the onset of the Chinese New Year, our school's set to bring it all in with celebration and festivities. Those looking to celebrate the Lunar New Year came to Michener Library's Lindu Auditorium for carnival fun, entertainment, and a buffet dinner. As student Chuchi Wang tells us, the Chinese New Year is a bit different than the one we're familiar with.
Yeah, it's Chinese New Year basically, but yeah, it's not the same as like the American New Year because it's based on the lunar. It's based on a lunar calendar as opposed to like the Gregorian one.
Wang says many community members of Chinese descent joined the students to celebrate UNC's 9th Lunar New Year.
It's well, at least in Greeley, there's a surprisingly large amount of Chinese families. I know that at least a fourth of our tickets were bought by Chinese families.
The Colorado chapter of Modern Martial Arts provided entertainment for the evening with demonstrations of various fighting styles. And the Japanese Culture and Anime Club performed a playful dance before the traditional Chinese dinner. Those lucky enough to get a ticket enjoyed an array of Chinese food, from Shanghai vegetables to Kung Pao chicken, catered by LC Oriental. Reporting from Michener Library, I'm Davis Gerbor, BearNews.
The Lunar New Year began officially on February 8th and falls on a different day each year, with the Year of the Monkey as the ninth in the cycle of 12 animals of the Chinese zodiac. Constantly being on your phone and on social media is the perfect way to drop your grades and your motivation. I'm sure you already knew that, but here's something you probably don't know about: the Pomodoro technique. The time management technique is perfect for those who easily get distracted and waste valuable time by not studying or doing homework. According to BuzzFeed.com, the Pomodoro technique breaks your work time into segments that last 25 minutes each. After each segment, you get a 5-minute break to grab a snack or take a quick peek at your phone. Now you might wonder what the word Pomodoro means. Well, it refers to a long break, or it is also known as the fourth break, where you take 10 minutes off instead of 5. There are a variety of applications both iOS and Android users can download. Have you ever been up close and personal with a live calf? BearNews reporter Jacqueline Polizzi got a little too personal with a calf at Buxman's Farm.
Hey, trucks, cows, oh my! We're here at Buxman's Farm to get the lowdown on the moo down. Buxman's Farm started with a few dollars and a big dream.
Grandpa used to be out here and little horses, and then it went to a small tractor and then went to bigger tractors.
Now it's home to about 1,600 head of cattle.
We have the milking operation where we milk around 420 to 430 cows 3 times a day. Then we also have our beef cattle, as you can see right here. And as soon as they get to our desired weight, we take them in and we have them slaughtered for different varieties of cuts of meat.
Local grown is the key to Buxman's Farm.
Our products are here local. They're not all over the place. All our milk goes to Leprino in Greeley. It's a big cheese plant. They're actually the world's biggest mozzarella producer.
As the world goes round, so does agriculture. Agriculture is constantly changing, so farmers have to keep up with that.
We'll fly drones over cornfields to see, okay, we need more water here, or hey, we need more fertilizer here, or hey, there's spiders and different bugs here. So
at the end of the day, farming's not just all about the animals, it's also a business.
Everybody always takes a look at agriculture and they say, there's so much money in agriculture, but it is expensive. There's a lot of overhead costs. For example, fuel.
Money's not the only reward to farming.
People in this area, that other farmers are, supplying this area with, basic needs of survival. That's at the end of the day, you can go and hang your hat on that.
Reporting from Buxman's Farm in Greeley, I'm Jacqueline Polizzi, BearNews.
58% of Colorado's dairy products come from Weld County. It's nice to see that local farms such as Buxman's have such an impact on Colorado. Thanks, Jacqueline. So you think you're safe from ghosts because you don't live in Whip King nor Wilson, huh? Well, you're dead wrong, so to speak, because many of the halls in this university have their own ghost stories. And as BearNews reporter Dario Broto tells us, today's is in Harrison Hall's turn.
Today we're visiting Harrison Hall, one of the oldest dorms in West Campus. And of course, it has its own ghost story.
This is Harrison Hall. As you know, that there was a janitor that died inside Harrison. It's a little spooky. It might be a wise tale, but I think it's true. There was a janitor. He came to collect the trash from the trash chute, but a student had dropped a brick down right when he was collecting it, and it hit him in the back of the head, and unfortunately killed him. And to this day, he still kind of sticks around and haunts the building.
The janitor was in the same room under the trash chute where someone upstairs threw the brick that hit him in the head. All the trash chutes in every floor are locked since that happened.
I know a lot of students report that the elevator will take them straight to the basement all the time, and they'll be like, why am I in the basement? I never pressed the button. And the weird thing is they can't get in the basement unless they have a key in the elevator to turn to press the basement button. So it's really eerie that it actually takes them down to the basement here. We were down here setting up for Haunted Harrison, which is a big haunted house down in Harrison Hall here. And two other staff members of mine and me all heard footsteps coming down the hallway. And we were like, what's happening? So we came out of the room and looked in the hallway, and there was nothing here. So we went back in the hallway and we were like, oh, maybe someone was walking above us. And we actually proved that wrong. There wasn't really anyone upstairs walking around. And we heard them again that night, and we just don't really know what to think of it. So it's kind of spooky.
Reporting from Harrison Hall, Dario Bruto, BearNews.
Thanks, Dario. Moving off campus is definitely a very good idea. Speaking of warmer weather, not long ago we were under nearly a foot of snow, but spring-like conditions melted most of it.
Will the warm weather continue? Coming up after the break, John has your full weather forecast.
Kids will spend 8 minutes decorating their little brother.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
We've had quite a few warm days here in Greeley, but what a lot of people may not know is that this is not a common occurrence for the rest of the country. The game changer for Colorado is our topographic influence to the west, the Rocky Mountains. The Rockies create an enhanced warming effect for the whole Front Range, and this doesn't occur in just the Rocky Mountains. This can occur in any mountain range in the world. The physical process behind this phenomenon is as a moist air mass at the surface encounters a mountain range, this air is forced to go somewhere, and that just happens to be upwards. Now, when this air is forced upwards, it has to cool to be the same temperature as the rest of the environment and the air surrounding it. This is what we call the lapse rate of meteorology, and it determines how much air can cool as it rises up in the atmosphere. So as this air is forced upwards, the water vapor that is contained in this moist air mass will condense and turn into a cloud. Right here on the graphic, we have the air moving up on the mountain, so it has to cool, cool, cool. It eventually condenses and starts raining on the mountain, or it becomes snow. As this air keeps moving up and up, the water that was originally contained inside of this air mass is squeezed out like a towel, and there's no more left. Once this air hits the top of the Rocky Mountains, it's dry air. So as the air comes from 14,000 feet all the way down to 5,000 feet here in Greeley, remember the term lapse rate that I used? Well, it works for the same way for air moving down the mountain. Since this air is dry too, it will enhance the warming effect as it descends down towards the surface. And once that air reaches the surface here in Greeley, it can be quite warm, which brings us these wonderful 70-degree days in February. It is also a huge part why Denver has 300 days of sunshine a year. But now taking a look at our satellite imagery here, we just have some mid-level clouds over the mountains, and we see a few passing clouds up here in northern Colorado, but mostly clear for us here in Greeley. Taking a look at the surface fronts around the country, we have a low pressure system pushing through the Midwest, and another one will be coming up later in the week, which will bring us some high pressure for Colorado here, which is great conditions for us. Taking a look at yesterday's temperatures, we have the low pressure system sitting right over the Midwest, creating a lot of cold air around the Midwest. We have 20s in Chicago and Minneapolis, but over here in Denver and Colorado for us, we have warmer temperatures, 60s, even better. Going on to my next slide here, we have warmer temperatures peaking up into the central United States with almost 80-degree temperatures sitting out in Kansas and Oklahoma here. But same conditions for us here in Colorado, just 60s, maybe in some low 70s if we get a lot of sunshine that day. But taking a look at our records for today, our high today was 66 and our low tonight will be 33, which is way different than our climatological average of 44 and 17. So we're beating them. It's real warm, and that's great. Our record -14 for our low, set in 2006. Wow, that is cold. I bet we're glad we're not having that over here. Daylight savings is coming up here on March 13th, so get ready to turn those clocks forward. Taking a look at the extended 5-day forecast, we have mostly sunny, warmer conditions for the weekend, but as we come into next week, we could see those temperatures drop a little bit more, and we could see some rain in the morning on Monday, maybe late into the afternoon too, but overnight, Monday into Tuesday, we could see a lot of snow coming down, but who knows how much? We'll have to stay tuned and find out. I'm going to toss it over now to Steven for sports.
Madness in February? The women's basketball team's overtime win versus Idaho proves just that. Full highlights after the break.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
March Madness, right? For the UNC women's basketball team, it's February Madness after a thrilling overtime victory over Idaho. Mohammed Al-Namir tells us how UNC plundered the Vandals.
Thursday night, UNC hosted first place Idaho at Bank of Colorado Arena. In the first quarter, both teams traded baskets, but UNC led 16-10. The second quarter became a game of aggressiveness with fouls going back and forth. Coach Kami Etheridge presented the team's weakness that Idaho's Ali Fordy exposed.
The pressure is generally what hurts us, and so she led the pressure from that spot on the floor.
The third quarter was an alternate affair as lead changes became prominent. The game followed the same script in the fourth quarter as Idaho tied up the game at 61 with key free throws. So we got free basketball. In overtime, the Bears rallied through some stingy Idaho defense and pulled out a 70-68 win. After the game, senior Rebecca Howell talked about how the team can pick up wins down the stretch.
Really, anybody can win some games. It's pretty even. 1 through 10, probably a few teams at the bottom. So I think if we just keep building what we've been doing these last couple games, and just coach says it every day, keep growing, because some teams have hit their limit, and I think we just need to keep chipping away and coming together as a team.
And the Bears need to do just that as they continue their Big Sky play. I'm Mohammed Al-Namir, BearNews 98.
The Bears had the opportunity to continue their winning ways against Eastern Washington on Saturday night. More about that later. As the women's team won in Greeley, the men's just couldn't pull their own magic in Moscow. The Idaho Vandals got the best of the Bears Thursday night, 73-67, handing the Bears their third straight loss. Junior guards Jordan Wilson and Anthony Johnson combined for 35 points, almost half of the team's points, but the Vandals' defense down the stretch overmatched UNC's strong performances. So the Bears keep looking for some away love as they travel to Cheney to face Eastern Washington. One way to spend your Valentine's Day weekend with that special someone could be to attend a sporting event together. In particular, you could have gone to the women's basketball game as UNC took on Eastern Washington. The Bears let their game against the Eagles slip away Saturday afternoon, losing by a final score of 66-57. The game was close, but it really came down to the third quarter and three-point shooting. Eastern Washington held the Bears to only 5 points while scoring 12. The Bears also couldn't get most of their shots from beyond the arc to fall, going from a total of 10 of 32. Despite the loss, head coach Kami Etheridge gave Eastern Washington credit for their defense.
Smart team that we just played. I think they're one of the grittiest teams in our league. You know, they make an adjustment in the second half, and whether it's strictly 2-3 or a matchup or zone that end up being a man, if they switch in the middle of the play, they got us out of rhythm.
Kylie Heiser led the Bears with 17 points, 2 steals, a rebound, and an assist. Freshman dynamo Savannah Smith finished with 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. The Bears look to get back to 500, tipping off against North Dakota 2 p.m. on Saturday in Greeley, followed by a road game against Sacramento State Thursday night. The men's basketball team skid continued as they fell to Eastern Washington Saturday. Even though the Bears dropped another game in Big Sky play, one Bear is going to the record books. Junior Anthony Johnson sizzled his way to a UNC record 37 points, 3 more than former Bear Tevin Svihovic. His offensive outburst fell just short, as though as Eastern Washington shot lights out, leading the Eagles to a 97-80 victory. The Bears look to get back to their winning ways when they shoot over to North Dakota to take the Fighting Hawks on Saturday. Tip-off is 1 p.m. Mountain Time. The UNC men's tennis team couldn't fly their way to victory against the Eastern Washington Eagles. Newly nationally ranked Eric Schuermans finally met his match versus Croatian Robert Dula. Dula never broke a sweat as he cruised his way to a 6-0, 6-2 sweep of Schuermans. Some other Bears who suffered the same fate as Schuermans included Connor Finnerty and Hayden Kramer in their singles matches. Eastern Washington holds on for a 4-3 win over the Bears. The Bears try to get back to their winning ways versus the Air Force Falcons. The Air Force Falcons became the second bird this weekend to beat the Bears. After losing to the Eastern Washington Eagles, the Falcons clawed past the Bears 6-1 Sunday. Austin Mayo was the only Bear to win a match, surviving a 3-setter. Nationally ranked Eric Schuermans lost again, most likely knocking him out of the rankings. The Bears' homestand continues Friday versus Idaho. The women's tennis team hosted in-state rival CU Boulder on Friday at Workout West. Unfortunately, the Buffs weren't very gracious guests, as they beat the Bears 6-1. The only Bear who came out on top was freshman Anna Battersby, who won a 3-set nail-biter. The lone victory came after the Buffs won the first 6 matches and already won the match. The Bears continued the weekend with a tournament in Laramie, Wyoming. The tournament started out rough as the Drake Bulldogs swept the Bears 4-0. Time restraints cut 3 matches short. The Bears were only 1-2 at the time of the stoppage. Valentine's Day finished up the long weekend for the Bears. The script didn't change as the Wyoming Cowboys picked another loss to the Bears season. The Cowboys beat UNC 6-1. The tough weekend is behind the Bears as they look ahead to their matchup Saturday versus Colorado College in Greeley. The women's softball swings their season open at the Texas Arlington Tournament in Arlington, Texas. The first game saw the Bears notch a victory 1-0 against the Texas Southern Tigers. Jamie Redcliffe threw 7 stellar innings, and Rachel Johnson got the RBI. In Game 2, the host Texas Arlington blanked the Bears 8-0. Kelly Clyde suffered the loss, lasting only 2 2/3 innings. The next day, the Bears played 2 more games, first versus Detroit Mercy. In a close affair, the Bears scraped together a 5-4 win, with Jamie Redcliffe picking up her second tourney win. The nightcap saw the Bears get shut out again, this time by Missouri State. Chandler Elsner took the loss in the circle. After 2 days, the Bears looked to get above 500, but Missouri State beat the Bears again 6-0. The third shutout and loss gives the Bears a 2-3 record. The Bears have another tournament starting February 19th at Lamar University. Every win's important, but UNC's wrestling team's close win in a duel against Utah Valley on Friday was even more important than usual. With the wrestling season coming to a close, the duel is very important. Freshman Jesse Reed won his first collegiate duel of the season 7-2. He wasn't the only one to pick up a win, though. Redshirt sophomore Keelan Torres also won his match, and with a major decision at the end of the match, gave the Bears 4 points to add to their team total. For the match of the night went to redshirt senior Trent Noon. He was all business on the mat. He had a takedown within the first 16 seconds and a 4-point near fall soon after. But all the excitement came 10 seconds later when the officials slapped the mat, signaling a pin. Noon's pin got the Bears the win, 19-18. With the Big 12 championship right around the corner, head coach Troy Nickerson puts a lot of faith in Noon.
Yeah, I mean, Trent is that guy, in a pressure situation. We want him out there every time. Luckily tonight, just luck of the draw, it happened that way. But that's what I expect Trent to wrestle like every time, and we will go back and we'll watch the film and we'll show him that.
The Bears have one final home meet against Air Force, and then it's off to the conference championships. UNC's women's track won 6 events at the Bozeman Running Company indoor meet duel over the weekend. Mariah Zachary and Oliva Aris Perry finished first and second, respectively, in the 60-meter dash. They also won the 4x400 meter relay, along with teammates Cami Sargent and Aisha Allen, clocking in with a time of 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Aisha Allen jumped to the top of the leaderboard in the women's long jump with a leap of 5.72 meters. This Big Sky Conference preview proved to be a solid list for the Bears. The men also went to Bozeman Friday. Let's see if they could hurdle their way to victory in the Big Sky Conference preview. Bozeman bound and ready, the men side hopped their way to several impressive performances. Bears long jumper Royce Boston set a season record with a leap of 7.13 meters and a first place finish at the meet. The Bears also sprinted their way to victory with two outstanding showings in the 60-meter and 400-meter dashes. Alex Mead edged out Elias Miller of Weber State and Mitchell Horning of Montana State for the top spot in the 60-meter dash, posting a time of 6.94 seconds. Meanwhile, Jordan Medina, a strong first-place performance in the 400 with an outstanding time of 49.32 seconds. The Bears head to Golden this Saturday to compete in the Colorado School of Mines Joe Davis Owen at the Steinhauser Fieldhouse. It was senior night at the Ice House on Friday as the UNC Bears checked in against in-state rival Metro State. UNC got off to a rough start against the Roadrunners as they were down 4-1 early in the second period. Senior Dan Morrison's game misconduct penalty that got him ejected sparked a comeback for the Bears. A sloppy second period by Metro State led to 4 power play goals in a row in the second period, and the Bears ended period up 6-4. UNC put the game away in the third period as they scored 2 more goals to win the game 8-4. UNC ended its season with 16 wins, 15 losses, and a tie. Overall, the Bears fans watched the team dominate at home as they struggled on the road. The Bears start postseason play in Logan, Utah on February 26th. They hope for a spot in the ACHA D2 National Championship in Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Thanks, Steven. Coming up after the break, find out what students are doing with how to deal with the well-known midterm stress. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. Teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
Terms are on the horizon. BearNews reporter Anna Monet asked students how they deal with the stress of exam preparation in this week's Question of the Week.
Hi, I'm Anna Monet here at the UC trying to find out ways students are managing stress around midterms.
Probably eating a lot of food in my room.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
So get a good night's sleep, eat healthy, and try not to stress too much and focus on the future and know it's just one test, not the end of the world if you don't get an A.
I think I'm gonna plan my week better, and then I also like talking to my mom a lot. She helps me relieve a lot of my stress.
So what are you going to be doing to relieve stress around midterms?
Drinking.
I'm going to be increasing the amount of time I spend at the gym, and I'm going to be spending a little bit more time with my friends.
Lots of sleep. Perfect. Sleep, sleep, sleep.
I don't know. Usually I like to watch Netflix. I'm a really big fan of naps, especially just like short 15-minute naps.
I think I'm going to do a whole lot of like trying to stay with friends and doing a lot of study groups and circles and that kind of stuff, and just try to get as much support as I can from my dorm, I guess.
Just going over my notes, just taking it easy, not overstressing myself or overloading myself with things, just relaxing.
Reading a comic to help elevate your mood. Exercising. Exercise, I really do encourage it.
Signing off from the UC, Anna Monet, BearNews Channel 98.
Those were some great suggestions by our fellow UNC Bears. I especially like the one about naps. Thanks, Anna. And that's our show for tonight. Thanks for joining us this evening. We'll be back next week. Until then, stay up to date on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, BearNews98. Be sure to like us. Have a great week.